For the last 1,000 days, I tested what it'd be like to live life as a video game. I nuked out all of the bad, tracked all of the good, and doubled down to achieve the perfect life. The only problem? It worked a little too well.
I'm done. I can't take it anymore. It's too much.
So to make sure that doesn't happen to you guys, I'm sharing every video game lesson I got right, and the others I got horribly wrong. Starting with baby steps. Have you ever noticed that the best video games all have one big, easy to understand goal? Whether it's saving the princess in Zelda, saving the princess in Mario, or saving your marriage by taking down Matt in Wii Sports with raw animal-like athleticism. How else do you think I got these calves?
That's pretty nice. But here's what every video game doesn't tell you. That goal has to be big because we humans are fundamentally wired into breaking down large problems into smaller and smaller steps.
But how about a real-world example? Let's take the dreaded pull-up. See, less than 5% of the world can even do one, and last year, I wanted to be in that camp. The only problem? Yeah, they're incredibly hard.
That is until I used baby steps.
You see, first we do a little bit of research and we find that pull-ups require three basic things: gripping, pulling, and releasing. Meaning we can just break these down into groups and try mastering each one at a time.
Concentrate on everything you're doing. The longer you can do this, the better you are.
For grip, we can start by holding the bar for as long as possible until we eventually hit 30 seconds. Once that's done, we can jump on top of the bar and release slowly. This is called a negative, which after we master 10, will be able to give us the muscle we need to get to step 3, where we can finally try pulling ourselves up with either assisted bands or by rolling the dice. And boom! What was once an impossible goal only 5% of people could even do is now a series of easy to follow baby steps that anyone can apply to get good at anything.
But what if you needed some help? Who do you listen to?
Feedback frenzy.
Look, getting feedback might be one of the most important things that you can do to gamify your life.
And video games know this by giving you everything you need to improve immediately. For example, when Mario jumps on top of a Goomba, it doesn't just disappear. Instead, it gets squished like this, giving the player feedback that they're on the right track. And it's not just Mario. Every great game uses feedback to help the player improve, like when you use your Pikachu to humiliate Gary, or when you get those super satisfying hit markers in Call of Duty.
But the beauty of feedback is that it can also be used in the reverse to reduce bad behavior.
Like having your Sims pee themselves after getting mysteriously trapped in a room with no door.
Help me, dear God, what have I done? This is not how the game's meant to be played.
The point is, feedback is king, and feasting on it is the only way to go from zero to hero.
Except in the real world, using feedback is not that easy, because everything's a lot more vague. Now, for those of you who don't know, I'm Casey. Hi, that's actually the first time I've ever said that here, and yes, it feels incredibly awkward. I'm just a guy in a country that's cold holding a Wiimote. Could there be more wind? See, originally I was just a small town Canadian kid working construction every single day. But one day I realized I didn't want to do this anymore. So I decided to go back to school for computer science with a mission of getting as much feedback as humanly possible.
If I wasn't getting roasted 24/7 in order to improve, then I just wasn't happy.
Human spider, that's it? That's the best you got?
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
Which after enough time eventually led me to the big city where I became a senior software developer working at Unity and now here creating content full time for you guys. Brother, I'm gonna need you to stop with the wind, you sicko. Jesus. But to my surprise, the higher I went, the more I realized that the feedback I needed suddenly had to become hyper-specific. Because in the real world, you're not playing one game. You're actually playing hundreds, all at the same time. And since everyone in the world wants to share their advice,
Well, I guess he's just different.
it had caused me to frequently listen to the wrong people who were playing the wrong games and make mistake after mistake. You feel like a loser? You feel like no one cares about you, you're going to be a failure, and no one ever thinks you'll amount to anything, and you kind of slightly are leaning into that and wondering if you should just quit entirely. To put this in video game terms, I was trying to go MLG in the glory that is Halo while taking lessons from Call of Duty players. Sure, they might mean well, but also, these games couldn't be any more different.
Someone, for the love of God, please forward that information to Microsoft and 343 Industries, because that'd really make my day.
So please, keep that in mind the next time Alex from accounting gives you his hard-earned advice. I just want to start an OnlyPans and become an online cooking sensation, Alex, not validate the CRA's homework.
To sum up, feedback is goose frickin-tastic, but getting feedback from people living the lives that you actually want to live, that, my friend, is priceless.
Track everything. Guys, you know what's cool? Numbers. High score, time trials, damage per second, speed, achievements. It's all amazing, and it all exists because we humans are addicted to watching these beautiful little symbols go up higher and higher. It just feels goose-tastic.
Kinda like when you give your boy the perfect dab. But you know what feels better? Tracking as many things as humanly possible.
Because fun fact, the more you track, the more likely you are to improve. That's just science. So if you want to be the David Goggins of pull-ups, well, you better start tracking how many you do at the end of every set. If you want to be the Christian Bale of weight loss, then yeah, those calories best be tracked. Also, that's not healthy.
And if you want to run a 10K under 50 minutes, well, guess what, buddy? So do I. But that one is just dramatically harder than I thought it would be.
It is so humid. It's so disgustingly humid.
Regardless, when gamifying your life, the goal is to track down as many things as you can to see what works and what doesn't. Then frickin' doubling down. In fact, this is exactly what I did every single day. I'd rate my level of hunger, my cheat amount, my calories, my time outside, every single thing I could think of throughout my day with the goal of finding out what exactly makes me happy.
My friend Chad gave me these for Christmas.
And shockingly, to my surprise, the top 3 things that made me happy turned out to be eating a healthy balance of fun food,
Sorry, Chad.
hanging out with my wife, and going outside for a minimum of 44 minutes a day.
I can't feel my face, genuinely. This is so painful.
Meaning A, I don't have to guess anymore, and B, I now fully understand why Canadian winters are the absolute worst.
I'm a gaming channel. I should be inside at all times. Warm, comfortable, playing video games. And yet... why?
If you were a Canadian in the year 2026, you know exactly what I'm talking about, because that was the longest winter known to man.
Canadians, make some noise. To translate this back to video games, let's take Call of Duty. Sure, it's a great game, but what actually helped it skyrocket into popularity was the insane amount of tracking they have, leading to millions of millennials all around the world doing everything they could to get skins. You want this one? Give us 10 prone shots, buddy. How about this one? You disgust me. And the list went on and on and on, and we ate that up. It was fun, addictive, and completely changed how every multiplayer game would work forever, because it's how humans work.
So if you want to get good at anything, set goals, track it, and then frickin' double down, buddy. Kind of like how I'm about to double down into this transition to our bonus segment. Did you know that gamification can improve your life scientifically by over 40%? Well, Factor does, which is why they've teamed up with me to share 3 gamification facts that'll make eating after a long day's work easier and more delicious than ever. Fact number 1, the 10-minute rule. This is where game studios figured out that most people actually quit within the first 10 minutes, which, thanks to Factor's chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals that are ready in minutes, is the one thing anyone trying to eat better never has to worry about. You simply pick what you want, set the date, and boom, you got a full week's worth of real meals made with real ingredients and at least 2 veggies ready to go. That's good. Fact number 2, the Hawthorne effect, which is where scientists notice that simply by tracking something, you're more likely to improve. But you know what sucks? Tracking calories. It's long, annoying, and nobody likes to do it. Thankfully, Factor just does it all for you, making calorie tracking as easy as turning the box. Fact number 3, flow state. A concept where challenge and skill can be perfectly balanced, causing you to lock the heck in. But if anything's gonna break you out of it, it's cooking dinner and scrubbing disgusting dishes. So Factor takes all that time and energy and gives it right back to you. There's no planning, no prep, and cleanup is as easy as
Easy.
Honestly, my wife and I have been using Factor for what feels like forever, and I cannot recommend them enough. So if you're tired of wasting time, energy, and money on foods you barely like, head on over to factor75.com or click the link below with code GOOSEFB50 to get 50% off your first Factor box, plus free breakfast for 1 year. The offer is only valid for new Factor customers with code and a qualifying auto-renewing subscription purchase. Now let's get back inside, okay? Because I'm dying out here. It's very hot.
Number 4, becoming Arnold. Now you might think becoming this version of Arnold is goose freaking tastic. He can't be bargained with, he can't be reasoned with, he doesn't feel pity or remorse or fear, and he absolutely will not stop ever until he wins. You see, in role-playing games, this would be called min-maxing, which is the process of minimizing all of your worst traits so you can maximize all of your best. We're talking doubling down on strength in Elden Ring with absolutely no clothes so you can do this, or choosing the lamest characters in Mario Kart to beat your cousins, or somehow turning the coziest game ever into the perfect farming machine. But this type of machine-like over-optimization comes with a hefty price.
At this point, I need to think, do people want what I have to say? Do people want me here? Do people want my content? Like, what is my purpose? I really don't know anymore.
See, over the last few years, I min-maxed my life into oblivion, spending every second of my life creating content to achieve success. I'd wake up at 4 a.m., work on YouTube,
And it is 3:10 in the morning.
then swap over to my 9 to 5 before swapping back to the channel so I could give you guys the content you see here today.
Which not only worked, it made me wonder, what if I did more?
So I maximized all of my points. I taught myself how to edit, then Photoshop, write, market, live stream, animate, brand, create merch, social media, and whatever else I could think of to get me closer to my ultimate goal. The youth call this locking in, except min-maxing doesn't necessarily translate to real life as easily as you'd think, because what you minimize might actually come with unforeseen consequences. And in my case, I embarrassingly dropped all forms of socialization to focus on my career,
Which am I?
which caused me to become more angry, more bitter, and incapable of celebrating even the slightest wins. In fact, if it wasn't for my wife's surprise donuts, I don't think I would have celebrated a thing. Because as far as I was concerned, I was living in a world of ones and zeros, splitting everything I did into winning or losing. And while it definitely works, it also made me lose touch with reality.
I'm just sitting there, posting, refreshing. I'm going insane. And I can't get any help. And I want help. And I never want help. That's actually a big thing for me to want help. And I don't have any. Man.
That is, until I saw this. But trust me, we'll touch on that later.
For now, if there's one thing I want to stress to you guys, it's that pursuing a machine-like grind 24/7 of your life to become all-powerful really does work, like insanely well, so long as you realize that it also makes you an incredibly weird naked guy that basically no one can relate to. Metaphorically speaking, of course.
Number 5, be boring.
Alright, this one's gonna get a little meta, but stick with me here because it's a quick one, but a powerful one. How do I say this? World of Warcraft is never gonna die. Grand Theft Auto is never gonna die. And despite some of the weirdest designs of all time, Pokemon will probably live forever. And the reason for that is called the Lindy effect.
You see, the Lindy effect basically states that any non-perishable item that has stood the test of time is much more likely to continue existing over that same exact amount of time.
Put simply, if it worked for Grandma 60 years ago, it's probably gonna work for little Stevie.
World of Warcraft, I need to play!
But now you're probably wondering what the heck Lindy has to do with gamification. Well, as I've mentioned time and time again, a video game is simply about doubling down on what works and avoiding what doesn't. Which sounds simple, except it's not.
Hi, could I get 2 junior chickens with two medium fries? Yeah. And 2 medium Diet Cokes?
Because for some reason, we live in the darkest timeline, filled with clout-chasing, engagement farming rats looking to create some new fad for the sole purpose of taking your hard-earned cash.
But you know what I like a lot more than materialistic things? Knowledge.
So when in doubt, Lindy.
Stop listening to fads, tricks, hacks, or any other noise that hasn't been tested with time.
Because if it worked 10 years ago, it's scientifically likely it'll work 10 years from today.
And while you could try to do whatever the heck this is to get a jump on life, take it from me, it's just way easier to play the game according to what we already know works. Then just keep at it and reap the rewards.
It's boring, but it works.
Number 6. Star power.
Look, when it comes to video games, there's 2 types of pain, with the first and most common one being known as fragility.
Which is exactly what happens when Gary's stupid Squirtle takes an illegal bite out of my Charmander.
Not one person's a fan of that.
But on the other side, there's something called robustness, which is the ability to take pain and keep going.
It is so humid, it's so disgustingly humid.
Things like small talk, squatting, or watching Bravo's hit series Summer House with my wife.
So weird.
If it caused me pain, emotional or otherwise, I'd just star power right through that sucker.
I worked in construction for a while, and I just didn't think I was smart enough to do computer science, quite honestly. Anyways, I'm in college, and now I'm getting like top grades, and I'm killing it. And so I get this honor award, and one of my professors, who's the main professor, really, he pulls me aside, and he says, he lets me know that like I won the award, and I literally had, I want to say 2 seconds to celebrate. I was in construction for years. I didn't think I was smart enough. I decided to quit construction, live off savings, go do computer science, study 1 billion books to get in, grind like crazy to get the top of class, top grades, and full course load, do that all off savings, just really grind like you would never grind before. And I could feel like a single tear of just so much pride and joy in what I was doing. I was like, I did it. After 2 seconds finished, he goes, but you don't deserve it. The award was effectively ruined for me, and I felt heartbroken. It's just like, I grinded all this way, and then here's this person of seniority just roast me. I'll never forget that for as long as I live.
Except it turns out I was wrong, because there's a third type of pain. One that's never talked about, formerly known as anti-fragility. But because that sounds overly complex and cringe to say out loud, I just use the word Zenkai for obvious reasons. In fact, let me show you how it works.
Yo, what's good, everybody?
What's up, you
Okay. Now, while that might have looked like I got nothing but pain from that encounter, it's actually quite different to what happened with Gary and his stupid Squirtle. Because what you'll find is, after hearing your 10, 13-year-old talk about your mother, it kind of doesn't hurt anymore. And in an odd twist of events, it actually starts to get funny, somehow creating a pain that doesn't hurt you or leave you unaffected. Ironically, it makes you stronger.
I think I preferred when it was warmer.
Meaning pain isn't something to be avoided or numbed. That'd be a huge mistake. Instead, pain should be sought out in small bursts to make you a better and stronger person.
And I'm actually genuinely excited to see what this does. Like, I think this is going to make a really big difference. I hate you. I genuinely hate you, Mother Nature.
So what are you doing, you nut? Get the heck out there and start leveling up your weaknesses. We're talking things like small talk, the nightmare that is squatting, and even learning about Kyle and Amanda's disgusting divorce on the hit Bravo television series Summer House.
I feel like I'm losing a brother. mean, I hope that you can somehow improve and prove us wrong, but it doesn't look good.
How dare you treat Sierra like that, West? Shame on you. She's an angel.
Number 7. Finding fuel.
Okay, this one is a light bulb moment for me, and honestly, I cannot wait to share it. This one's awesome.
Now, when I say fuel, I'm sure you're probably thinking about the overpriced liquid dinosaurs my pal Cameron puts in his truck. And yeah, I know this is technically a Volkswagen SUV, but Cameron keeps calling it a truck for some reason, so I really wanted to support him.
In fact, can we all just comment "sick truck, Cameron"? Because I think that'd really make his day.
Regardless, when it comes to the SUV and or truck that is you, it turns out that stocking up on the exact fuel that you need is incredibly important. You see, when you're low in health in Minecraft, you eat food. When you're unable to shoot fireballs from your little Skyrim hands, you need mana. And when you can't run anymore in Call of Duty, you take
Okay, that last one's not the best example, but the point is, there's more than one type of fuel.
In fact, let's have ourselves a little pop quiz, shall we? Say you're about to run a marathon with a guy who has one of the greatest names ever. Which of these do you eat? Meat, fruit, or drink?
Assuming you're not a degenerate, you choose fruit because there are carbohydrates, and carbohydrates are the perfect fuel that your muscles are gonna need for that run.
Now, say you finish said run and are looking to recover with a cheat meal. What fuel do you pick now? A. Hawaiian pizza, B. a Cobb salad, or C.
Again, not sure what's up with that last choice, but contrary to popular belief, the answer is the very delicious and yet overly hated Hawaiian pineapple pizza, aka the Nickelback of pizza, because it has a ton of carbs, a ton of protein, and most importantly, it's provocative and it gets the people going.
But say you're already eating properly, you exercise regularly, and have been working years without taking a break, causing you to be extra snappy around anyone and everything, pushing you further and further into existential dread and a state of burnout you've never experienced before.
Genuinely, I'm going crazy. Like, my wife's constantly being like, don't fall! You.
Do you A. eat Hawaiian pizza, B. take a vacation in the wonderful mountains of Banff, or C. The answer's B, okay? You see, every problem you face burns some type of fuel, and it's your job to understand what game you're playing to ensure you stock up on the right fuel that you need to enjoy every single aspect of your life. Because if you can't, then one day you might wake up doubling down on the carnivore diet while wondering why you're not a billionaire yet, as explosive diarrhea runs down the inside of your pants.
The point is, you got the wrong fuel, pal. So put down the steak.
Number 8. Speed maxing.
Can we just take a second to reread that quote I put up there? You only have 2 lives, and the second one starts when you realize you only have 1. Wow!
Let that sink in. Because when it comes to video games, it's clear that what can be beat can always be beaten faster. It doesn't matter if you're playing Doom, Pokemon, Halo,
That was a pretty good bridge.
or seeing just how fast you can make your Sims absolutely miserable, which I recently found out is an incredibly popular thing to do on YouTube for millennial women.
Trust me when I say I'm just as scared as you are, and I'm about this close to calling the church.
The point is, this is exactly what I tried to do with my life, optimizing as much as I could to squeeze more time out of my day.
Wake up, daddy's home.
I ordered out to save on cooking and cleaning. I ran 10K every single day just so I could eat whatever I wanted. And I woke up at 4 a.m. for years to trick my brain into doubling the productivity I could otherwise.
I'm pretty tired, but I wanted to come on here and just do a quick recording. Celebrate the fact that we have, and by we I mean me, we have finally hit 10,000 subscribers.
Seriously, waking up at the crack of dawn with like a pot of coffee and nothing to do but your own work, like, I'm not even gonna lie, man, it's incredible. it's the best. It's fundamentally the best. Like, I can't recommend it enough. It's horrible, like, to sell, because, like, waking up at 4 a.m. sucks. But, like, if you do it, I'm telling you, it's the best.
But, like every other dangerously effective principle, it comes with a cost, because you're basically trading the beautiful yet interesting scenic route of your life for the same old highway filled with the same old potholes, the same horrible drivers, and the same dump trucks that seem to always drop stones that laser into my windshield, forcing you to deal with John from State Farm. Sure, I got where I wanted to, dramatically faster, but at what cost? And while speed maxing definitely has a time and place, I just want you to remember that it also drastically reduces your chances of stumbling into something unexpected that could seriously change your life forever. Number 9. Alchemy. In 1998, a man by the name of Gabe N leaves Microsoft to start Valve and create Half-Life, one of the biggest games in the world that had launched Valve into a billion-dollar juggernaut.
Hello, this is Gabe Newell. Thanks for playing Dota 2. Double kill.
But along the way, Gabe hits a snag. You see, Half-Life isn't fun. And what's worse is, nobody seems to understand what makes it fun.
And I've never thought to myself that realism is fun. I go play games to have fun.
So he and the team have to go back and try to figure out what fun means.
I mean, why does watching Pokemon evolve fill me with joy? Why does getting a perfect no-scope in Halo feel like the best thing ever? Why does this complete me? The answer? Alchemy. Specifically that humankind cannot gain without first giving something of equal value in return. And trust me, I know a lot of you guys are looking at that and going, oh man, he's got anime on the screen. They're like, oh boy, we're going into weeb territory, and I get it, but genuinely, that is shockingly one of the greatest shows I've ever seen in my life.
Now, to pull back, originally I thought so long as I worked hard, put out content, and did my best, life would eventually take off. And if it didn't, well, it was probably the fault of some other powerful being, be it the almighty algorithm, Aunt Karen, or even the Dark Lord Cthulhu, who's to say.
But now I know that that's completely wrong, because alchemy isn't about what you make, it's about what you give.
We can all play GTA 6 together now. You don't have to worry about it.
Okay. Let's do a real life example. Say I'm walking outside when I pass a stranger and I yell,
"Yo, check out these sick calves, bro."
He's gonna probably give me a weird look in confusion and walk away awkwardly. But now say we try again. Except this time, we compliment the stranger on his calves.
"Nice calves, bro. You're looking thick."
Suddenly things are a little different, and if he's a gym bro, I probably just made his year. And the reason is very clear. The first time, it was all about me. I made words happen, but I gave him nothing. But on the second try, I gave him something that he could have, a gift, causing him to be more likely to return me with a gift of his own.
So I wanted to get you guys something traditional, but then also, you know, splurge a bit because you guys have always supported me and my stuff, and you guys have always been there. It's the least I can do.
That, my friend, is alchemy, and it's one of the greatest life lessons I've ever learned.
In fact, that's all Half-Life was missing. See, the game simply needed to react to the player's given actions with something in return. The player gives, so the game must give back.
If I go up to a wall and shoot it, to me it feels like the wall is ignoring me. I'm getting a narcissistic injury when the world is ignoring me.
Meaning when the crowbar hits a wall, it should leave a dent. When a box is attacked, it should break, and so on and so on, giving the player the ultimate sense of being seen, and leading to one of the greatest success stories in video game history.
So remember, the goal should never be to just create. Instead, I'd ask you to shift your perspective to giving without expectations. Because when you do, the world becomes a better place, and somehow, it seems to always return the favor.
No, I'll give my gift. It's coming with me. It's not staying.
First place. That's crazy. This is my first PlayStation since PS2. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Number 10. Becoming Arnold.
Now you're probably wondering why I called this last point Becoming Arnold, because we've already spoke about him. But the thing that's interesting about Arnold is that he's not just the T-800 Terminator. He's also Mr. Frickin' Olympia.
And while Arnold and I are nothing alike, despite my calf size,
That's pretty nice.
make no mistake, this is the single most important thing you can do to gamify your life. If you want the character's life, you must be the character. And let me tell you, all the best games understand this. Take Doom, for example. You're not playing as Bob the Builder. You're playing as the frickin' Doom Slayer. In Batman, you don't hit, you hit. In Ghost of Tsushima, you don't just hit people with swords. You become the Ghost of Tsushima. The point is, the more you believe in the character that you're playing, the more that you're scientifically likely to actually become said character. But the beauty of this principle is that
It all boils down to believing without a shadow of a doubt that you are that character, and then, say it with me, frickin' doubling down. Frickin' pumped right now, dude. Holy smokes. May the North be frickin' with you. God, I feel like I could kill a building. Building.
However, there's actually one final bonus lesson I have to share with you guys. Because the truth is, for the last 1,000 days, I spent every single second of my life trying to be the absolute best I could possibly be using every single one of these 10 video game principles. I planned every single thing down to the microsecond, optimized my entire life to squeeze as much productivity as I possibly could, and shutting down everything that got in my way to achieve said perfect life. Except unlike you, I didn't understand them at the time, causing me to do a lot of things wrong.
I'm genuinely trying my best. And I understand that my best isn't good enough right now.
I somehow became the most isolated I'd ever been, while simultaneously having everything I could have ever dreamed of.
I bought an arcade cabinet.
Bringing me to the biggest burnout I've ever experienced, and forgetting the single most important lesson everyone seems to be forgetting. Life's not supposed to be perfect. That's what makes it special.
I hope this video helps someone, and I can't thank you guys enough for watching. Stay beautiful.